Okay students, good morning. Today let us discuss Coulomb's law in vector form. Coulomb's law in vector form. See, let us consider a three coordinate system x, y, z. O be the origin of three coordinate system. O be the origin of three coordinate system. Okay. See, let Q1 and Q2 be the two charges placed in X and Y plane. Let Q1 and Q2 be the two charges kept in X and Y plane at a distance of R1 and R2 respectively, where R1 and R2 are the two position vectors. R1 and R2 are the two position vectors. Q1 and Q2 be the two charges. Two charges. The distance from Q1 to Q2 is like this: R21 vector. The distance from Q1 to Q2 is R21 vector. R21 vector. The direction of R21 is like this. The direction of R21 like this, from Q1 to Q2. Q1 to Q2. Similarly, the distance from Q2 to Q1. The distance from Q2 to Q1 is like this. The distance from Q2 to Q1 is R12. R12. The direction of R12 is Q2 to Q1 like this. The direction of R12 like this. Towards Q1. Okay. R21 means the separation of vector R2 and vector R1 gives R21. So R21 vector means separation of R2 and R1. Vector R2, vector R1. Similarly, R12 means, vector R12 means the separation of R1 vector and R2 vector. The separation of R1 and R2 gives R12 vector. R12 vector. Okay. According to Coulomb's law, some quantity of force acts on Q2, Q1. These are the two like charges. There exists a repulsive force between them. So, some quantity of force acting on Q2, Q1. What is the direction of force? Like this. F21 from Q1 to Q2. The direction of force is Q1 to Q2 like this because of repulsion like this. Some quantity of force acting on Q2 due to Q1 is given by like this F21 vector. F21. The direction of force as shown in the figure. See, F21 from Coulomb's law, F21 vector is equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R21 square into R21 cap, where R21 cap is the unit vector. Its magnitude is equal to how much? 1. So F21 means force. Some quantity of force acting on Q2 due to Q1. Some quantity of force acting on Q2 due to Q1, the direction of force as shown in the figure. Similarly, some quantity of force acting on Q1. Similarly, some quantity of force acting on Q1 due to Q2. That is given by F12 is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R12 square into R12 cap. R12 cap. See the direction of F12 like this. F12. These two forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction because of repel. Because of these two charges are like charges, there exists a repulsion force between them. There exists a repulsion force between them. See, R21 means R2 minus R1. R12 means R1 minus R2. That is R21 vector is equal to minus R12 vector. R12 vector. Okay. From this, F12 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square into same equation into just to change this minus R21 cap because R12 is nothing but minus R12 R12 is equal to minus R21 whatever it both are equal and opposite directions, equal magnitude opposite direction. Then F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square like this R21 or R minus R12 whatever it then F12 vector is equal to minus F21 vector. These two are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. See, this equation both are same. This is not required. Okay. So finally we conclude that Coulomb's law agrees with Newton's third law. Coulomb's law agrees with Newton's third law. That is, every action it is equal and opposite reaction. F12 is equal to minus F21. Both are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. So, some quantity of force acting on Q2 due to Q1 like this F21, same force acting on Q1 due to Q2, the direction of force is given by like this F12. These two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. Then Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law. Coulomb's law obeys Newton's third law. Okay, students, next let us discuss principle of superposition. Superposition principle for forces. Superposition principle for forces. Superposition principle for forces. State superposition principle for forces. State superposition principle for forces. See, let us consider here two or more charges. Suppose Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 and so on. See, this is the Q1 charge, this is the Q2 charge. The distance of Q2 from Q1 is R12, and similarly the distance of Q3 from Q1 is R13, R13, okay, according to Coulomb's law. See, according to Coulomb's law, some quantity of force acting on Q1. According to Coulomb's law, there exists a repulsive force between them. There exists a repulsive force between them. So, some quantity of force acting on Q1 due to Q2. The direction of force is given like this: F12. Similarly, some quantity of force acting on Q1 due to Q3. The direction of force is given like this: F13. F13. Then from Coulomb's law, F12 is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square. Similarly, F13 is equal to Q1 Q3 by R13 square. R13 square. Then, according to parallelogram law of vector addition, the net force is equal to the vector sum of the individual forces F12 plus F13. F is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 by R13 square. See, according to vector addition or parallelogram law of vector addition, net force is equal to the sum of the individual forces. F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 by R13 square. This is the superposition principle for forces. Suppose I will consider n number of forces, not only two, Q1, Q2, Q3, not only two forces, n number of forces. I will take n number of forces. In that case, see, in that case, I will take n number of forces. This is the charge Q1, this is Q2, this is Q3, this is Q4, and so on. This is Qn. I will take n number of forces. See, according to Coulomb's law, there exists a force or repulsion between Q1 and Q2, and also Q1 and Q3, and also Q1 and Q4, and also Q1 and Qn also. Then, using principle, superposition principle, F is equal to F1 plus F2 plus F3 plus and so on plus Fn, and so on plus Fn. See, the distance between Q1 and Q2 is R12. The distance between Q1 and Q3 is R13. The distance between Q1 and Q4 is R14. Similarly, the distance between Q1 and Qn is R1n. Therefore, by using vector addition, F is equal to F1 is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r12 square plus 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q1 q3 by r13 square plus and so on plus 1 by 4 by epsilon naught q1 qn by r1n square r1n square. So f is equal to, combine all this, f is equal to summation, I will take summation 1 by 4 by epsilon naught is the constant in all equation, is the common factor 1 by 4 by epsilon naught. q1 also common factor q1 q2 by r12 square q3 by r13 square plus and so on plus qn by r1n square r1n square. See, 1 by 4 epsilon naught is the common factor. Of course, q1 by 4 by epsilon is the common factor. q1 by 4 by epsilon, q1 by 4 by epsilon is the common factor. So q1 by 4 epsilon into q2 by r12 square plus q3 by r13 square plus and so on plus qn by r1n square. So I will take summation. See, f is equal to q1 by 4 by epsilon naught sigma I is equal to 2 to n. I is equal to like this 2 to n, 2 to n. I is equal to 2 to n qi by r1n square r1n square. To remove the summation, plus it come to plus and 1 I instead of I 2 3 4 and so on n instead of I instead of I 2 3 4 and so on n. Okay. So this is the principle, superposition principle for forces. Superposition principle for forces. Statement. Superposition principle for forces. Statement. It states that net force acting on any charge, net force, that is total force. Net force acting on any charge due to number of charges, is equal to the vector sum of the all forces due to number of charges. Once again I will repeat. Statement of superposition principle for forces. It states that net force acting on q1, this is the q1 charge. Net force acting on q1, of course, net force acting on any charge due to number of charges is equal to the vector sum of the all forces due to number of charges. That is the statement for principle of superposition for forces. I will repeat finally once again. Net force acting on any charge due to number of charges is equal to the vector sum of the all forces due to number of charges. Okay, students. Next, difference between charge and mass. Difference between charge and mass. Charge and mass. Charge, mass. Charge and mass. Okay. Charge is a scalar quantity. Mass also is scalar quantity. It is a scalar. It is also a scalar. Okay, next. Charge of the body does not vary from its motion due to its motion. Charge on a body does not change due to its motion. That means whenever charge in motion, its magnitude does not change. Charge does not vary due to its motion. Mass varies with increasing velocity. Mass varies with increasing velocity. Next, third one. It is a derived quantity, not fundamental quantity. It is a derived quantity. Charge is a derived quantity. Mass is a fundamental quantity. Already we know that fundamental quantities are 7. Like one of these, among 7, mass is the one of the physical quantity. So mass is a fundamental quantity. Charge is a derived quantity. Next, fourth one. The SI unit of charge is coulomb and the SI unit of mass is kilogram. SI unit of mass is kilogram. Next, fourth one is very most important. Fifth one is very most important. Fifth one. Charge does not exist without mass. Charge does not exist without mass. Mass existed with charge. Mass existed without charge. Sorry. See, charge. Charge does not exist without mass. Charge does not exist without mass. Charge does not exist without mass. Mass existed without charge. Mass existed without charge. For example, neutron is the one of the particle. Neutron is the chargeless particle, but no charge. Mass is there. Neutron is the chargeless particle, but mass is there. So mass existed without charge. Mass existed without charge. Charge does not exist without mass. Charge does not exist without mass. This is the very most important. Okay. Next, sixth one. It is conserved. It is conserved means constant. It is not conserved, but it is converted into energy. Mass converted into energy, and vice versa. According to Einstein, mass energy equivalence E is equal to mc square. In some nuclear reactions, some quantity of mass converted into energy, and same quantity of energy again converted into mass. So it is conserved, it is not conserved, it is converted into energy, and vice versa. Okay, students. Next one, difference between Coulomb's law and gravitational law. Difference between Coulomb's law and gravitational law. Okay? See, Coulomb's law. F is equal to K1 Q2 by d square. Gravitational F is equal to G m1 m2 by d square. Gravitational force, this is the gravitational force, this is the Coulomb force. Coulomb force depends upon product of two charges. Gravitational force depends upon product of mass of the bodies, mass of the two bodies. So it depends upon charges, it depends upon masses, And second one, Coulomb force depends upon nature of the medium between the two charges. Coulomb force depends upon nature of the medium between the two charges. Gravitational force is independent on the medium where the masses are kept. It is independent on the medium. It depends on the medium. Coulomb force is a central force. Coulomb force is a central force. That means it acts along the line joining the two charges. Suppose this is the charge Q1, this is the charge Q2. It acts along the line joining the two charges. It acts along the line joining the two charges. It acts along the line joining the two charges. It is a central force. Gravitational force also a central force. It also acts along the line joining the two massive bodies. It is also a central force. This is also a central force. Both are central forces. Next, fourth one. In this case, the value of K depends upon nature of the medium. In this case, what is meant by K? Proportionality constant. The value of K depends upon nature of the medium. In this case, the value of G is independent on nature of the medium because of it is a universal gravitational constant. It is independent on any medias or any physical quantities like this. Next, last one. Electrostatic force is nothing but Coulomb force. Electrostatic force is nothing but Coulomb force. Electrostatic force is the strongest force compared to the gravitational force. Electrostatic force is the strongest force compared to the gravitational force. Gravitational force is weakest force in nature. Gravitational force is weakest force in nature. Electrostatic force is nothing but electromagnetic force. So already we know that there are four basic forces in nature. First one is strong nuclear force. Second one is electromagnetic force. That is nothing but Coulomb force, electrostatic force. And third one is weak nuclear force. Last one is gravitational force. See, dear students, electrostatic force or electromagnetic force is 10 to the power of 39 times stronger than gravitational force. Electrostatic force is 10 to the power of 39 times stronger than gravitational force. Gravitational force is the weakest force in nature. Okay, students. So next one, permittivity. Relative permittivity. See, relative permittivity over a dielectric constant. So represented by letter K R epsilon R. Relative permittivity epsilon R over a dielectric constant K. Okay, let us consider 2-point charges. So dear students, let us consider 2-point charges kept in A, separated by A certain distance. See Q1 and Q2. These are the 2-point charges separated by distance D in A or vacuum. According to Coulomb's law, the force of attraction or repulsion between them is given by F is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by D square. FA means force of attraction or repulsion in A because of these two are kept in A. So according to Coulomb's law, FA is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by D square, where epsilon naught is the permittivity of the vacuum or A. Okay, next one. These two forces Q1 and Q2 separated by the same distance D kept in other than A, that is kept in another medium like water or glass or kerosene or petrol, whatever it. Then according to Coulomb's law, medium like this, medium, not A, medium. 1 over 4 pi epsilon, not epsilon naught. Epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. This is permittivity of vacuum or A. This is permittivity of medium. Q1 Q2 by D square. Q1 Q2 by D square. This is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. Dividing 1 by 2. FA by FM is equal to like this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught divided by 1 by 4 pi epsilon m Q1 Q2 by D square divided by Q1 Q2 by D square. See, dear students, in this case the distance between them is constant. These same. These two charges kept in A, separated by distance D. These two charges are also separated by distance D, but these two charges are kept in A water. See, 1 by 4 pi cancel out, like this cancel out. So, like this, reverse. Epsilon m by epsilon naught. So the ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of vacuum is called relative permittivity or dielectric constant. It is K or epsilon R. Epsilon R means relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Okay, students, dielectric constant has no unit because cancelled. Dielectric constant has no unit and no dimension formula. It is a pure number. The value of dielectric constant for A is equal to 1 other than A. K always greater than 1. Always greater than 1. See, once again, statement: relative permittivity or dielectric constant is defined as the ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of vacuum. Okay, students. Another definition like this. Relative permittivity or dielectric constant in terms of forces. In terms of forces. See, the ratio of force between two charges kept in A, separated by a certain distance, to the force between same two charges kept in medium, with the same distance. That is the definition of relative permittivity or dielectric constant in terms of forces. Once again, the ratio of force between 2 point charges kept in A, separated by a certain distance, to that force between same 2 point charges kept in same distance, which are placed in the medium. So that is the relative permittivity or dielectric constant. Please remember it. It is the very most important. The value of K for A is equal to 1 other than A, K always greater than 1. Suppose, dear students, the value of K depends upon nature of the medium. The value of K depends upon nature of the medium. Suppose the medium is A, K equal to 1 other than A. For example, water, what's the value? K greater than 1. Of course, 80 or 50 or 60, whatever it is. See, suppose 2 point charges Q1 and Q2. Okay, students, these are the 2 point charges Q1 and Q2, separated by a certain distance D, which are kept in a medium. So, which are kept in a medium like water. Medium is a water. Then according to Coulomb's law, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi K epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by, actually see, medium 1 by 4 pi epsilon medium Q1 Q2 by d square. This is the formula using Coulomb's law. So F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon m Q1 Q2 by d square. See, by using definition of dielectric constant, K is equal to epsilon m by epsilon naught. Epsilon m by epsilon naught. It is a pure number, no dimension formula, no SI unit. So I want epsilon m. Epsilon m is equal to cross multiplication like this. K epsilon naught. Substituting epsilon m in this equation. Fm is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon m. K epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by d square. So K is the dielectric constant. For A, what is the value of K? 1. For A, suppose. For A, is 1 over 4 pi epsilon. What is the value of K? K equal to 1. That is nothing but epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by d square. This is the medium, this is the A. Okay. See, suppose these two charges kept in A, the force of repulsion is, suppose for example, the force of repulsion is 2 Newton. Let us consider two charges kept in A. The force of repulsion is 2 Newton. These two forces kept in medium like water. What is the nature of force? Of course, repulsive force. What is the force? Increases or decreases? Decreases because inversely proportional. Like this. F proportional to 1 by K. So medium increases, force value decreases. That means two charges kept in A, force is maximum. Compared to those two charges kept in water, kerosene, like that, etc. etc. If the force is maximum, then those two charges are kept in A. Other than A, force gradually decreases because of force is inversely proportional to the dielectric constant. The value of dielectric constant increases other than a greater than 1 or other than a greater than 1. Okay, just remember it, students. By using Coulomb's law to solve the one numerical, by using Coulomb's law just to solve the one numerical problem. See, dear students, 2 point charges each of 1 microcoulomb separated by a distance of 0.5 meter. What is the force of repulsion? What is the force of repulsion? See, once again, 2 point charges each of 1 microcoulomb. See, first one Q1, Q2, each of how much? 1 microcoulomb, 1 microcoulomb. Separated by distance, D is equal to 0.5 meter. What is the force of repulsion? Calculate the force. According to Coulomb's law, 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by D square. See, what is the value of 1 over 4 by epsilon naught? What is the constant? 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into what is the value of Q1? 1 micro. Micro means 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 into again Q2. Q2 also 1 micro minus 6 divided by what is the value of D square? What is the value of D? 0.5. 0.5 means 1 by 2. 1 by 2 whole square. 2 square is 4. Denominator to numerator. See, F is equal to 9 into 4 into minus 6 minus 6 minus 12 minus 12 plus 9 minus 3 minus 3 that is equal to 36 into 10 power minus 3 Newton. This is the force between these two charges. Which force? Repulsive force. Another one. See, what is the force of repulsion if each charge is doubled and the distance between them is half? Dear student, these two charges are doubled. Distance between them is half, reduced to half. What is the new force of repulsion between them? See, I will calculate F dash, new force. F dash is equal to Coulomb's law, 1 over 4 by epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by D square. See the students, Q1 double, Q2 also double. Distance between them is reduced to half. F dash is equal to 1 over 4 by epsilon naught 2Q1 double. Also, this is also 2Q2. Divided by reduced half 1 by 2 whole square. 1 by 2 whole square. See, 2 into 2 4. This is also 4. 2 square means 4. Denominator to numerator. Okay. 2 into 2 4 into this is also 4. 1 over 4 by epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by D square. See, what is the value? 1 by 4 epsilon Q1 Q2 by D square. Q1 Q2 by D square. 1 by 4 epsilon Q1 Q2 by D square. What is the value? F. Substituting F instead of this. F dash is equal 4 into 4 16 F. 16 F. Then substituting F value. What is the value of F? 36 into 10 power minus 3. Substituting this value, substituting in this equation, then we will get final result 16 into 36 into 10 power minus 3 Newton. This is the answer. Using calculator, just calculate it. Then we will get final answer. Okay, next, the last one. See, third one. What is the force of repulsion? Is the two charges are placed in water whose dielectric constant is 18. Whose dielectric constant is 18. See, new force. Because these two charges are kept in water. New force F dash or F double dash, new force F double dash is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon, 1 over 4 pi k epsilon naught, because these two charges are kept in water. K is the dielectric constant of water. Q1 Q2 by d square, Q1 Q2 by d square, like this. That is the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by d square means F by K. Whenever these two charges are kept under water, force decreases by K times. Force decreases by K times. Then what is the value of F? 36 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton divided by what is the value of K? 18. See, 18 is the K value. 18. 18 ones are 82s are. So F double dash, that is the new force. Whenever two charges kept at water, new force, new repulsion force, F double dash is equal to 2 into 10 power minus 3 Newton. See, dear students, finally we conclude that whenever two charges kept in air, the force of repulsion is 36 into 10 power minus 3 Newton. These two charges are kept under water, force is decreased. That is 2 into 10 power minus 3 Newton. Okay, students, thank you. Okay, students. In this session, a small minute mistake is there. In principle of superposition of forces, instead of F13 is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 by R13 square, this is the correct one. But I wrote F13 vector is equal to Q1 Q3 divided by R13 square. So the term 1 over 4 pi epsilon naught is missing in this case. So this is the wrong. Just watch it. So this is the correct one. Small correction. Okay, students. Okay, in this session, the very most important one is Coulomb's law in vector form. This is just one more question. In examination point of view, just mention the Coulomb's law in vector form. Explanation not required, students. Explanation not required. This is the only mention the Coulomb's law. It is a 1 mark purpose. Very most important 1 mark question. F bar is equal to, or F vector is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square into R cap, where R cap is the unit vector. So this is the Coulomb's law in vector form. This is the very most important. Next one is related to permittivity or dielectric constant, also very most important. And last, numerical problem also very most important in examination point of view. Okay, students.